Knock, knock. Open the door to your heart. Open the door so that self can flow right through. I once was told there were no answers to be found, the answers to my broken mind and heart. Today I realize that even though the years have passed me by, it is essential for me to travel back in time, traveling back to where I came to be a part of this ancestral plight. Acquired many bruises through the fight, and I was left broken and bleeding from the inside. The wound was deep, without an end in sight. Regardless of the years that passed, I masked the pain in order to survive. I always thought that others had to come to rescue me and take care of this disgusting gaping wound. Knock, knock. Open the door to your heart. Time travel is essential in order to begin and live without the pain. Upon self-examination of my past, I now stand in the gap and on behalf of myself at every age during the past. I traveled to myself tonight. I traveled to that place where the little me, just 7 at the time, was lost and full of fright. I turned around and knelt down so that I could see her eyes. I picked her up as if presenting her to the celestial light. Eyes full of tears, but with a broken smile. Though she was scared, her eyes contained a ray of hope. I knew deep down inside my heart, the answer came at this specific time. It was that smile that captured me with much delight, because I knew that finally it was the end of one more fight. Knock, knock. Open the door to your heart. I visited her today. She was 11 and did not understand the many changes happening inside. Why was her body changing? It was no longer lovely, pure, and very light. It weighed her down. Now carried judgment, dirty looks, unwanted hands, and unwanted touch from those outside. It left her awkward, sad, and without sight. Now all was dark. There was no light. I gently walked towards that precious child and asked her for permission to touch her and wrap myself around her as if a cozy blanket covered her naked body from all those peering eyes. Tears of healing streamed down her face. I gathered each and every one of them within my hands. Knock, knock. Open the door to your heart. Only 2 years have passed, and now I find myself in front of her. Now she's 13. She had developed a way to soothe her cries. She stuffed herself with all the food in sight. She stuffed all the emotions so deep that she became numb. Purging became her daily cry. Her lovely head and face were stuck in a bowl of grime. She hid it from the world. It was a serious crime. She used to fill the tub with water, and it was boiling hot. Once purging had subsided, she washed away all of the sins inside. The pain from the hot water soothed all the pain inside. She couldn't tell her mother, nor could she tell her father. They wouldn't understand. She wore a cloak of shame all of the time. The woman that I am today stood right next to my 13-year-old self, removed the cloak of shame, replaced it with a pretty shawl containing pretty jewels. These jewels were all the tears that had been gathered in my hands from all the painful moments in the past. They now had been transformed into all sorts of precious jewels. I gently wiped away her tears and gave her a big hug. Told her to never fear, because even though many times before she felt alone, I had been very near. To me, she was always so dear. Knock, knock. Open the door to your heart. She is now 27, with a baby in her arms. How will she do this thing called mother with all the junk inside. She tried her very best to soothe the baby's cries. She wanted to provide much better for the lad. She was alone the day that he was born, all by herself, all through the night, holding this precious person so tightly in her arms. He had become the reason for her to live this life. Before this little baby came, she wrestled with the thought. Her only goal up to that point was to terminate her life. She lived her life only to please her man up until now. She lived her life only to please an outside force that constantly kept taunting her with shame and judgment. It covered her in slime. My older self walked over, sat next to this young mother who held her precious baby in her arms while tears came streaming down. I wrapped my arms around her and whispered in her ear, "You've done the best you can. Don't be ashamed. Don't be dismayed. I have been right inside you, leading you every step. Look in my eyes. There are no painful tears, only tears of joy. 7, 11, 13, or 27. I've always been right here. I carry all of you with me today. I traveled back in time 1,000,000 times. It had always been me. I held you every night. It had always been me who spoke into your heart. All of those times you called out for help, my ears heard each and every cry. I answered every time. They were not heard outside. I fought in every battle and rescued you each time. The beauty of it all is that I was never alone. I called upon the ancestors. I called upon the grandmothers. Each time they came, a slew of spirit guides because they were inside of me. Our purpose is self-healing as we travel through time. Don't think you were a victim of circumstances past. You have become a victor. You have become a victor. There is no need to cry. Dance to the music and celebrate life. This journey is not in vain. Time travel is essential for everyone. There is much to be gained. Knock, knock. Open the door to your heart. There is a world of beauty waiting for you inside. In this poem, I explore the concept of time travel, not as a science fiction trope, but as a healing mechanism. It's about going back to different phases of life, understanding the pain, the confusion, and the challenges, and then offering healing to those parts of myself. One of the most powerful aspects of this journey has been the sense of connection to something greater, our ancestors, spirit guides, and the collective wisdom that we all share. This has been a source of strength and inspiration for me, and I hope it can be for you too. Even in the darkest chapters of our lives, it's crucial to hold into a vision for the future, a future where we can breathe freely, rebuild what we've lost, and create something meaningful that transcends these struggles. Life is a journey, and sometimes that journey takes us back in time so we can heal and move forward. Thank you for listening to my story. If it resonates with you, please share it, and let's empower each other to transform and evolve. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. Thank you.